transformation. Today, we are thrilled to host a true testament to the power of our navigated pilot, Mr. Viney Kaushal. Good morning, sir. Sir has spent nearly 2 decades as a powerhouse in the corporate world, holding titles like Managing Director, Global Alliance Strategy at Tech Giant Essential. But after achieving such corporate success, Sir made a profound change. He shifted his focus entirely to entrepreneurship and his passion for education, specifically in childcare as the president of Little Einstein Learning Incorporation and an owner of Gujarat Group. With a global corporate background, Sir has a unique perspective on leadership, skills, and social impact. Welcome to the podcast, sir.
Well, thank you very much giving me the opportunity to be in front of you. And I'm so excited to be sharing my experiences with you all. And will be very happy. Anything you have on your mind, don't hesitate. Come on.
We expect to learn a lot from you.
Yeah.
Sir, you led Global Alliance Strategies at Essential for a year. What does alliance mean in your current business?
First of all, what does alliance mean in general? Alliance means networking. You join hands together, power of two. One person can do few things, but when two join, that means they can do wonders. In our business world, it's not only two, multiple companies join hands to create solutions for the clients. In our current business in education today, it's not that we do alone, we do partner with the government, we partner with other education institutions, we partner with parents, we partner with so many different entities, and we get the best of breed ideas from all of them. And those ideas we plow back in the business. So this is not a one-track thinking. It's combined thinking which is going into it, and all those good ideas which are coming from different organizations, they are plowed back in the business. And that way you can implement the business ideas much better.
What do you think is the better thing, private sector or the government sector?
So the partnerships we do are both with the public sector as well as private sector. Because there are many government regulations which are there, so you need to partner with them because we will get guidance from them. And then there are many private entities, they give you many good ideas, you partner with them as well. But in addition to these two entities, you need to partner with parents. That is a very important part of the equation because they are the ones sending their children to you. And if you don't get their ideas, because they are the one bringing these children up as the future citizens of the country. So you need to get their ideas of what is working, what is not working. That's why you partner different entities together.
Are you forming partnership with local companies or is it the alliance now the relationship with the parents, educators and the community?
So we basically, when we are partnering not only local companies, global companies. I think there is a word called glocal. Glocal is G stands for global, L stands for local. Glocal. That means you look at broader spectrum and look at it from where the ideas could come, which could be implemented. So your thinking becomes glocal. There's a local implementation, but a global thinking. So this new word you remember, glocal, G capital, LOCAL. That means global thinking, local implementation. That's how you do that.
Yeah. Moving from a managing director role at a major firm to being a business owner involves a massive shift in risk and responsibility. Can you describe your mindset transition?
Yeah, so when you are working in a corporate world, you are confined by their rules and regulations. When you start your own business, you immediately open up. You know that you brought the skill sets from there, and those skill sets you are trying to implement in the new business. Any skill sets you gain anywhere are transferable. In any business you go. So the skill sets are not static, they are transferable. You are able to use those skill sets in any environment you are. So coming from a global corporate world and going into your own business, you are able to transfer those skills, use it in your local business. They are very helpful. Yeah.
What Was the challenge of starting a business in education more or less intimidating than leading a multi-year, multi-purpose million-dollar company?
Yeah, means whenever you start a new business, it is intimidating, right? You always think, how will I run my own business? But with the skills you get in the earlier part of your profession, they are critical part of the equation for you to think it through. But when you are starting a business, you don't start from scratch. You always create a business plan and you look at it, what are the various elements of the plan. Not only that you look at the market conditions where the business has to operate, you also look at which will be the most important stakeholders of that business. Any business you start, for whom are you starting? There are stakeholders, right? And you look at their interest, what are they looking for? Education is just one part of it, but if you start any business, you will look at, I'm starting a product company, and this product is for whom? And what are their expectations for that? So you look at the total picture, then you start a business with market conditions and looking at it, that how do I make it successful? Because most of the businesses you start, you still have a profit motive. You need to have some profit out of it. It just does not happen out of the vacuum. That's why you create a comprehensive business plan first, where you look at all the elements of the business before starting, and then you implement it slowly. You go with the implementation. Your experience in any job prior to starting a business always helps, because you got those life lessons and you just take those life lessons along with you.
That's great,
Yeah.
sir. How did the scale of responsibilities between these two experiences different?
In terms of responsibilities,
Yes.
repeat the question again.
How did the scale of responsibilities differ between these two experiences?
When you are running your own business, your own boss. That means nobody is giving you direction. Nobody is telling you anything. You need to create your own direction. But when you are working in a company, they give you direction. They tell you, this is what we need. And you work within those rules and regulations. Starting your own business is one of the best things you can do, because you can implement your vision, your thinking, and you can implement the way you want. But you need to implement it in a way keeping in view one very important part, that you need to stay client centric. What is good for your clients? Whosoever your clients are, is this business helping them? If it is not helping them, you are just looking at your small profit, it's useless. Look at the welfare of the people from where it will be touching them. Maybe any product, maybe education, maybe any business you are thinking of, it needs to be client centric, meant for the clients, whosoever they are, right? Yeah.
So you have worked with major hubs like in Chicago, Singapore, and Delhi. How have your experiences while living and working in different cultures informed your philosophy on leadership, especially in child development and teaching methodology?
Excellent question. Okay. When you work in different cultures, you look at different cultures. First of all, human beings are same everywhere, right? But their way of operating their life is different. For example, our Eastern culture is different from the Western culture. Now, when we move from country to country to country, we absorb what the basic elements of that culture are. And it has been a very interesting experience for us. Um, for example, I'll give you an example of India. When we say meeting will start at 10 o'clock, okay? If it doesn't start at 10, it is accepted norm. Yeah, it's okay. It gets late. It doesn't matter. 10:30, okay. In Western culture, it does not happen that way. If we say in meeting is at 10 o'clock, it means 10 o'clock. It will start at that time. So the time value, time concept is little different in the cultures, and you have to cater for that. And even in Eastern culture, you look at the importance and value they give it to elders, like hierarchy is there. When the owner or the managing director of the company will come, everybody will get up and they will call him sir. In Western culture, Nobody gets up. CEO will come and sit, and you will call him by name, Mr. Dick. You call whatever name it is. You don't call him sir or anything. You just can treat him equal. So these finer elements of culture make a big difference how you operate. In Western culture, we operate at equality level. That means all are equal, irrespective of whatever designation they hold. In Eastern culture, we give a lot of importance to hierarchy, to your basically designations of the people, and that respect sometimes it creates imbalances in terms of sharing the best ideas you could share, because you will give more respect to the designation of the person. Even if you have some ideas, you may not pass it on to that person, right? It happens here. The Western culture, they will go flat. They will tell what they have on their mind. So the culture plays a big role, how you run a company, how you operate. It's the basic element, how you operate in the companies and make them successful.
So it means that the Western culture is better than traditional culture?
Few elements of US culture are definitely better than the Eastern culture. That discipline which is given there, and the freedom to express your ideas is much more there than here. That's why when we say innovation comes from Western culture. A lot of innovation comes from America, because that is a hub for people to innovate and think through and create think tanks that, okay, come out with many people. It doesn't matter you're a junior, senior, mid-level manager, they put their heads together. Eastern culture, it's more limited because the expression of the best of breed ideas are limited to higher people. I think the people at a low rung of the careers, they are not given that opportunity which should have been given. And that's why I will say the elements of innovations are definitely better in the Western culture, because of the equality of ideas which are given. That's why the medical research which is happening there is much more deeper than what happens here. We normally imitate many of the things that happen there. We would like the Eastern culture to take the lead, and for the Western culture to say, oh, India did this, China did this. It is happening, but in small corners. It's not happening all over. It's not all pervasive. It is limited. So I think in reality, it will be much better that it happens much more here, because Eastern culture has lot to offer. Lot to offer. We have a very long history of value systems which we have. Our Vedas are there. Sort of, if you look at India, we have Upanishad, Vedas. So much knowledge is there. Ayurveda. I mean, so many things were there, which we could not take it further to the Western culture, and we have lot to give it to them. I wish that we do it much more what we are doing today. Yeah. So,
What do you think are the biggest drawbacks in Indian culture in contrast to the American?
what did I get the biggest
Drawbacks. In the
drawback
Indian culture, yes.
in the Western culture?
That you face in the Indian culture and that was appreciable in the American culture.
Yeah, I think the freedom of expression in the corporate world is much more in Western culture than in Eastern culture, and that's why I think the hierarchy plays a big role in terms of determining the success of a company, and why the U.S. companies are succeeding in terms of their global presence is because the limitations on the hierarchy are there, and people are able to flow the ideas from the bottom to the top. Here, most of the ideas go from top to bottom. They do not go from bottom to top. They go from top to bottom. So that's why I think limitations are there here. But then limitations are there too. It's not that limitations are not there in the Western culture. There are some limitations there where I think they could learn a lot from the Eastern culture, how, especially the respect we give it to the elders and all many things which are happening here. There could be respect. Some of the aspects of that could be learned by the Western culture as well. And they are learning. It's not that they are not learning. I think there's a lot of learning going on there as well. Yeah.
So what can Eastern side do to appreciate that drawback?
Drawback
In the Eastern side, what can they do?
In the Indian side.
Yeah.
Well, the drawback in the Indian side is mainly freedom of expression, giving the more independence of thinking to the people, that they are able to, sort of give free flow of ideas in terms of implementation. But I see now in India, big change is happening. IT has made a big difference in India. Now, if you see, information technology has played such a role here that many of the Western companies are taking people from here. Anybody goes from India to study in US, majority of them don't come back. We call it a brain drain. You know the brain drain, right? That means the best of brains from the Eastern culture are going there, but because they get educated in that system, which is more open, they can give back much more to that society than to our own country. I think it will be much better if we can stop that brain drain going from here to there. I will much prefer that people go from here, study there, come back here. That means it should be a reverse brain drain should be happening, that those who are even settled there like me should come back here. Should we not? That they get limitation, the families are settled there and all, you don't come. But I see lately it's happening that many people, many Indians who are settled in Western countries are slowly coming back, because now the compensation and other things are much better here than it used to be earlier, right? IT industry has revolutionized the whole thing, especially these 4 or 5 companies, Infosys, Wipro, TCS, Cognizant. Some of these companies, they change very perception of IT globally, everywhere. So that has actually been changed quite a bit. Yes.
So, which place do you think, Eastern or Western, is best to start your own business?
I will still say US is the best, because the reason being that in Eastern countries, especially let's say India, a lot of red tape is on. When you start a business, there are so many rules and regulations. Even though we have tried to bring a lot of liberal thinking, liberalization has happened, but it is still controlled by government quite a bit. If I want to start a company in US, hardly any control. I just set up a company, start doing business, and not many checks and balances. They will not stop you implement anything you want to do. So that sort of thinking need to come in the Eastern culture for the companies to succeed. Here, government still controls quite a bit what you can or you cannot do, and that's the limitation. And I think we need to bring openness in the whole thing. That's a very important part of the equation, that openness is required. I remember that before 2000, we used to have, they call it a, what they say, unless you have a permit to do something, you cannot do it. Permit Raj, whatever the word was used at that time. There is no such things in Western culture. There is no permits, nothing. Just set up and setting up a company is online. You can go online and set up a company, whatever name you want to give. We set up 2-3 companies there. Little Einstein Learning is one of them. Daffodils is another one of them. In this education business we started, and not many government agencies told us what we cannot do. We can just expand it the way we want. So makes a big difference. Big difference.
What was the best thing that you learned by conducting a business in America?
What is the best?
Skill you learned while conducting a business in America.
What best business?
Skill.
What best skill? The best skill is your innovative thinking. Like, you need to think out of the box. You are not confined by, or you don't imitate ideas from others. You just think out of the box. For example, all these companies that came, Google, Facebook, Instagram, or many of these companies started by whom? Students. Somebody studying in Harvard, somebody in Stanford, somebody there in their dorm. This Facebook was created in a dorm. Google was created by two people while doing the PhD. It was a PhD project. And that became a global company, and it's like multi-trillion dollar company today, and started by two people, just two people. And think about it. Those two people who started, there's the power of idea. You get an idea. If I start this Facebook type of company, that means people can connect with each other. They can share their daily life with each other. They can wish each other best happy birthdays. They can do this. Starting with that concept. Then you start expanding it. Those people who are doing it, now we can ask companies to advertise their product there. That's how they make money, advertising on that platform. Then they went further. Okay, now we know how people navigate that, what is their likes and dislikes. They make it people specific. If you like a particular area, art, they will show you more stuff of art pertaining to you on that Facebook. Others will not see. They saw your liking and disliking. And that is artificial intelligence was happening before, even now it came a big way, artificial intelligence. But it was happening even before. They were looking at what your likes and dislikes are, and they are trying to put it in the way you look at the social media. So all these innovative companies just started with an idea by students at a very young age. And you see what a big success they are today. I wish more of those ideas come here in India. Why should it come in Harvard, Stanford, or MIT, or these places? And many of those ideas, I think some of our Indian people are thinking who go for higher education there. And it could happen in our IITs, in our IIMs, and all these places, right? You know, IIMs and all, right? Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Are you going the sequence, or you're still breaking the sequence here and there?
Can you share how your involvement with the Chinmaya mission over 26 years has influenced your decision to enter and lead in the educational space?
So how did I transition in the education space? Yeah. So, first of all, education has been in our blood and the family. My father was an educationist all through. He ran many schools as the principal of schools. You see this institution where I am sitting right now. Yeah, it is part of that, in our blood thing. Even though I worked in corporate America for 40 years, but that thinking stayed. How do I go back to education? How do I do that? So, being at the pinnacle of your career, at the managing director of Accenture, took a bold decision. We are going to leave that, took retirement, let's go into education. So we started our own education business in USA. And that, I think, gave internal satisfaction that you are giving back something to the society, which otherwise in the corporate world, because you are confined by their own rules and regulations, you cannot give. So that was the reason that we went into the education business there, and we are very satisfied. Both me and my wife, we feel as if we are doing something as a family legacy, which we should have given back to the society, and leaving the career at the prime age. We don't feel bad about it. It's good actually. We feel good about it that we are giving back. So.
As someone actively involved with Chinmaya mission, could you share how young people our age can begin volunteering and contributing to the mission?
Absolutely. I think volunteering is possible at any age. There is no age barrier for volunteering. We started doing it actually little late in life. I will say we were in mid-40s when we got exposed to this Chinmaya mission, and it's nothing but Number one part is Vedanta learning the values. Vedanta, you know what is Vedanta? Vedanta is the last part of the Vedas which give us the gist of Vedas, right? So learning Vedanta, but learning doesn't mean anything if you don't put into practice, right? So you started putting into practice. Then you look back, why could I not do it at the age of 20? I should have done it early. To your question, that what could you do at this age? But now this is the spirituality part. But you look at it different way. If there are downtrodden areas who need some IT help, why can't you help that? You can set up some small outfit where you say, we'll give a free IT education in this particular field, and people from that area are welcome to get that education. That way you expand your profile, even your resume, even to go for higher education. Many institutions look at it. In addition to getting your grades, I got 60%, 70%, 80%. Did you do anything special? And that special is, yes, I set up a non-profit, I did this. And that is volunteering. That means you are helping the society one way or the other. And that you can do at any age, and I'll very much encourage you to think it through. What can you do in terms of helping others? Another project is, there are many areas which may need books, and there are many places you can get books from. Give it to them. You become a via media to do this. A book bank. This is big help. This volunteering. But in addition to that, there are many organizations that need volunteers. It may be medical field, it may be some other fields. They need volunteers. You can raise your hand. Yeah, I can volunteer. I can do it. So there is no age for that. This is a perfect age to start doing it, actually. And also, there is no age for spirituality. Many times we think we would learn all these things when we are old, retired, and this and that. Spirituality should become part and parcel of your day-to-day life. Which means, what is spirituality? Values, good values. And good values you put in education, in business, in corporate world, everywhere. So you should be actually learning that now. I see more of that happening religious level, which is more become dogmatic, in the sense that that is like going to a temple, praying and all. I don't know if you inculcate some of the values which you should do in your day-to-day life. That's much more important. So volunteering at any age is good. At your age is very, very good. You should do it. Absolutely do it.
We all know that Chimayana mission is related to spirituality.
Yeah.
Then how do you stay rooted in this spirituality principle while working in the fast changing competitive educating environment?
So how do you stay spiritual?
Yes.
Spirituality becomes part of your core. It becomes part of your personality. It becomes part of your way of life. Spirituality is not something which needs to be read. It needs to become you. After you learn something, values you learn, that is those values you put in anything and everything you do. Many times, those people who do the right thing, people observe, other people observe. And when you are studying spirituality and putting it in practice, people observe more that this person in the group meetings and everywhere, he's different. He does not step on the toes of others. He gives his ideas very eloquently, very nicely, and just keeps quiet. He goes with the group thinking as such. So I think spirituality becomes a way of life, and you should bring it in anything and everything you do on a daily basis. And as young age you start, better it is. I think you need not wait for something to happen later on. It should become your sort of day-to-day working. This is how it is. At this age, I much prefer that you bring that spirituality in your day-to-day thinking today rather than tomorrow. It should happen right away. Now. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
After achieving success by traditional corporate metrics, how do you define a win in your current role?
How do I define
Win. Win.
will?
Win.
Well, in my current, if I look at my current role right now, managing a education business, right? Education business. I think it's very interesting that you have your employees, you have teachers, you have directors, you have your employees. You give them free hand in terms of, okay, look at this a framework. Within this framework, you give them some overall guidance, but you still stay little away from that and observe them on a day-to-day basis, and then you decide that at what stage you need to bring back them in. Are we, so fulfilling the obligations we have created for this business, or keep on giving them some guidance, but do not do micromanage on a day-to-day basis. Giving freedom of action is so critical that you need to be giving them some freedom of action, but also giving them some overall guidance in the day-to-day thing. Yeah. So.
Your background is in technological architecture and information management. How are you leveraging technology, whether it's for administration, personalized knowledge, or communication with parents, to give little Einstein a competitive edge?
Technology is the core of everything, to be very frank. Now, if you look at technology, the way things are changing, over the last 40 years, technology has changed from mainframe computers to what we have today. You can see that laptops and all sorts of things that happen. Um, you need to stay open to technology. Those people who do not stay open to technology become irrelevant in any organization. If you are not open to technology, you become irrelevant. So we are implementing technology all the time in our business. Now the artificial intelligence is coming. It has come actually. Part of that has already come. It will play a big role in every sphere of life. We need to be prepared now. You need to be prepared now for the artificial intelligence. We may not realize what a tsunami of artificial intelligence is coming. It's a real tsunami. It's not even a revolution. It's a tsunami coming. And in the next 2-3 years, it will be all pervasive. You will see that artificial intelligence is going to change the lives of people in every sphere of life, in the medical, in the surgical part, in the education part, in any part you will see it will play a big role. So be prepared for that. Now open your eyes and say, oh, it's coming, let me learn about it. What is it? I know that young generation in India like you look at Chat GPT and Perplexity and you're all looking at it. Could we ever think of at our age when we were growing up that I put one sentence in Chat GPT, make me an essay on this and this subject. In 50 seconds an essay will be made, it will be in front of you. You can modify it and you can do what you want. It will give you a complete essay. Put in Perplexity any question you have about the globe, that, oh, I'm going to Antarctica for one day. What can I do there? It will prepare you the whole program of that place, that if you have one day, go in the morning there, have lunch at this place, in the afternoon here, have snacks there, coffee here, in the evening do this, and then have dinner. Now, when I go to different places, I just put in that Chat GPT or Perplexity or any of these platforms, that I'm going to Miami for 3 days. What can I do there? Done. In 15 seconds, I have the whole program. I went to Miami actually recently to see somebody as a social visit. He did not prepare any plan for us. We are sitting in the morning, second day. So I said, Ashok, I thought we'll make some program. He said there is nothing much to see there. I took out that program which Chat GPT gave me, kept in front of him. He said, oh, I didn't know that we could go there, we could go there, we could go there. So he felt so embarrassed that he then took us, for the remaining 1.5 days, he took us to many of those places. But you just think about it, that people living in a particular place does not know what is the important part to show to people there you are. It's very maybe unfortunate to some extent that that people don't think it through, that you can make such plan. Now Artificial intelligence is making the plan for you. Do this, do that, and they are going a step beyond. When you put it, something like this, that I'm going to this place, they'll even give you the airline tickets which you should buy. They will tell you how do you economize on the things, not to spend too much money and this thing, and how you can see more in less time. So they are giving you all the options today what you could never dream of at our age when we were growing up. So you people are very lucky at this generation that you have the option now to explore so many things which we could never do that at our age. We came through, I will say, the non-technological growth of our personality. We had no idea computers and all this. We studied in the 60s and 70s. Computers were hardly there. Email never came until mid-90s. So communication was not, cell phone we could not even think of that one could call anybody, anytime, any place. This technology has changed everything, and you are you millennials, I use the word millennial or Gen Z. You are Gen Z. You are Gen Z. You Gen Z people are so lucky right now that you have everything given to you on a platter. And it's only up to you how much you can use it and how you can enrich your life with that. It's coming a stage when this platforms will tell you how to choose your life partner. That who is the right life partner for you, they will tell you. That don't go with the Ramesh or Sheila or this and that. Go with Rashmi. Go with so and so. They will tell you. So that it has already come actually. It's so close right now. So you people are very lucky compared to us. But I look at our generation, how we came through technology. And I'll say that without technology, we learned many things. It has become now, I'm taking diversion. In our business, we are teaching young kids up to 6 years of age. Technology is core of everything. But parents came to us and said, one day a week, make it a non-technology day for the children. No technology. We want them to interact with each other. We want them to create relationships. So we made Friday a non-technology day in that institution. No technology, no computers, no smart boards, nothing. Interaction. So we grew in that age where the interactions were critical. You are growing in the age where technology is the core of everything. Make it a mixture of both. Marry them. So you will feel much better, because the relationship you create by interactions, they will be so critical for when the teams you work in. You will work in we call it intercultural or the global teams you will work in, where there are many disciplines working at the same time. You are one part of that, a member of that team. You need to be actually bringing your skills of that interactions into play. Technology will always play there, but your personal skills will be so very critical. So marry the two. Always.
What do you think is the most powerful thing? Artificial intelligence or human mind?
What is the most powerful
thing or way of thinking? Artificial intelligence or human mind?
Both. I will say marry the both. Artificial intelligence is good. It gives you a direction. It gives you a lot of information. But if you do not marry both of them, your personal things and your personal skills into the picture, I think it will become too much going in just in one direction. In this world, when we are operating, we need to be operating with the human beings, right? You are operating one-on-one with human beings. So you just cannot go by what you are guided by a non-entity like artificial intelligence. Do this, do this, do. Then you become a robot. So you don't want to become a robot. You just want to be live. So that's why you try to mesh both the things together and make that happen.
Who do you think will dominate the future? Artificial intelligence or people?
Which is dominant?
Dominate the future. Who will dominate the future?
Who will dominate the future in terms of
technology?
I think at this stage, if I look at it, artificial intelligence will dominate. I mean, there is no doubt. But I have no doubt in the next 10 years something else will come up. It will not be just flavor of the month or flavor of the year kind of thing. We could think of in the 80s and 90s when the computer came, or then we said, oh well, the email has become very dominant, search engine has become very dominant. Okay, but now as we go artificial intelligence today, it is important, but you will see in the next 5 years next version of that will come. So this may dominate today for 5 years, but after 5 years you will see some new technology has come up which is even more powerful than that. That's why I will always say, do not keep your mind at status quo. Status quo. Status quo is be content whatever you have today. Always be inquisitive. Always think of new ideas and new technology coming up that, I need to learn more. I need to do this. I need to do that. Otherwise, you become irrelevant in wherever you are. As a student, as an employee, wherever you are, you will become irrelevant. The day you become irrelevant, you stop learning, you will be obsolete. Even when we interact with our own grandchildren today, if I did not know some of the new things, they will say, Grandpa doesn't know anything. They have two grandchildren, 13 and 9. Okay. Very good at technology. They are learning all the latest stuff. If we do not keep pace with them, do you think they will talk to me? They will not talk to me. So I need to keep pace with them. I just came out of our 50-year reunion we had at Punjab Agriculture University, Ludhiana. We did MBA 50 years back. 1975 we finished our MBA. All those people who finished MBA that year, we met in the university earlier this week. Some of those people did not keep pace with technology. We talked to them anything about technology, they have no idea. We could see the disconnect. We could immediately see the disconnect. And now I realize more and more of that when we interact with the young generation like our grandchildren, that if we want to stay active in their life, we need to be at their level, learning that stuff. So you cannot keep your mind shut at any age. Be a student for life. Absolutely be a student for life. All through life, you always learn new skills. You cannot say, I learned yesterday, whatever it is, that is enough. No, it's not enough. Till the last day, you keep learning. I remember Rabindranath Tagore, he was learning different languages just before his death. Mahatma Gandhi was learning few languages just before his death. So I think learning never stops. We just need to keep learning. Nothing is static in that.
What do you think is a better technological field in the form of future generation that will help them to get a better job opportunity?
Well, from the job point of view, if I look at the technology field today, I will still put AI right now at the top. But the reason being, whenever a new technology comes, that is one skill many companies look at. I came from Accenture. I was working with Accenture for 16 years. A cutting edge technology company, consulting company. Even that company today, majority of their employees, they are giving training in AI today because the clients will need it, that training. So most of those consultants, they have 800,000 employees global, 8 lakh employees global. Majority of them, they are training in AI. To get a good job, yes, AI will be needed, but you need to have the basic skills of how do you code, how do you do this. If you are going into IT, that will be there. But having said that, that's not the only field. You have marketing, you have many other fields where the jobs will be there. But technology point of view, even in those jobs, you will need some basic technology skills. So that technology, you don't shut yourself. Even if you are going in softer skills jobs, even then learn that technology to basic level. If you go to IT companies, you need to have deeper level of understanding of that technology. So AI is definitely a field you should be looking at right now for the purpose of getting good jobs in any company. That will happen. Yeah.
We have had some advantages and some disadvantages as well. So how can we prevent ourselves from the misuse of AI?
Prevent yourself from?
The misuse of AI.
Let me understand the whole question clearly.
As AI has advantages, it has disadvantages as well. So how can we at our age prevent ourselves from the misuse?
Any technology has disadvantages and advantages. Exactly. AI has disadvantages that it gives you many things on a platter, which means it does not make you think. You need to think it through, right? Many things. Don't give the job you should be doing yourself to AI. It will do the job for you, but that's not your thinking. You want your mind to expand. You want your mind to think through the things. So that's why let's say you are given by an assignment in the school or college that write an essay on so and so. Write yourself. You can get some help in terms of after you write it, in terms of modifying it, enhancing it, but you cannot give the job, or we call it outsource your assignment to AI and say, hey, Miss AI, do this job for me. That is the biggest disadvantage, is that AI will stops you from thinking yourself. And that you should be conscious about. I don't want to let that happen, because then your own thinking is gone. So that is a big disadvantage. But advantages, many advantages are there. Because as we were talking about this planning of travel, there are many things AI will give you on a platter. For example, in medical research, in surgery, it will give many innovations will come because of AI. For example, Zoom. We do Zoom meetings. I do Zoom meetings all the time with our staff and all. When I'm doing Zoom meetings, AI is working side by side. The moment I finish the meeting, AI will send me a big summary of the meeting. What happened in that meeting? Instantaneous. It comes within like 15 seconds. The whole meeting I did for 1 hour with all the employees, the summary of that will come in the form of AI, what he does. It's the advantage. Because we need not capture the minutes. It gives you the minute. You modify it a little bit, it gives you. But disadvantages of not thinking through many things and just relying on it blindly is not the good thing. In the interest of time, I'll give you some lessons of life. Is that okay?
Yes.
Overall lessons of life. Okay. First lesson of life. Take some calculated risks in life. Okay. When you are moving through life, let's say you have you did your degree, you are now getting a job. It is very normal for you to think it through that, well, jobs in current companies like Infosys, Wipro and all this are good. Let me get a job there. Look at the paths people have not taken, unproven paths. Try to go on those paths, which may be difficult, but it will give you many rewards. So take some, when there is an option given to you, one is a well-paved road, the second is untrodden road. Try to take untrodden road. Make your own path. When you make your own path, you will learn, you will stumble, but you will be successful. So take some calculated risks in life. Number one. Number two, when you are given opportunities to participate as a volunteer, participate as a team member, participate as a team leader, and they tell you, can you do this? Don't hesitate. Raise your hands. Yes, I will do. Even if you do not know that area, raise your hand. That will make you learn that area. Become a part and parcel of some team so that you are able to contribute and learn some new things. I'll give you an example. When we immigrated to Canada in 1990, in 91, a new thing came called ISO 9000 certification Have you heard of ISO 9000? This is a global standard. Many companies were implementing. The company I was working, I started my job as a human resources director. They said, we want one person here to lead that effort. It's a quality control effort. Lead that effort. Can somebody do it? We were 10 people sitting, 10 directors sitting there. Nobody raised a hand. I raised my hand. I'll do it. I'm a human resources person. I don't know ABC of quality. Okay? And you have to implement the whole system in the company. It made me learn that system very well within a couple of months. Implemented that, got the certification, okay, in 18 months. And then this company had 74 plants global in different countries. They said, because you implemented, we are going to move you from Toronto to Chicago to implement everywhere. It opened the door for. It opened the door not only to expand your skills, but go to all the 74 plants, implement that system with their teams. And that made me go to every continent just by raising one hand. I will do it. That learning, one small learning, raising your hand, it opened the door for the career, for life. It was, so that's why when you get an opportunity like that, raise your hand. I will do it. That I will be the one. I'll learn it if I don't know it, but I want to do it. So and you will get many opportunities like that in life. And finally, you do not rise in the companies by just thinking that I will continue with my current skills. It's like going on a tree, you don't go straight through the stem, you go through branches. And what are branches? Skill sets. You keep on plucking those skill sets while going up. When you reach the top with all the skill sets, you can become CEO of the company. And if you just go without plucking those skills, then you become a dummy leader or whatever it is, you don't have any skills. So always get new skills. Always get whatever you can learn, keep on learning in the companies wherever you work for. And that learning will keep you relevant. And finally, get some expertise in one particular field and become a go-to person. Wherever you work, if the question comes about that field, they'll say, go to, say any name, I say, Akshay, go to Akshay. He knows everything about it. You become a go-to person. That means you become very relevant for that particular subject in that field. And that is a critical part of the equation. You should always be thinking of how can I become a go-to person for something. And when the new opportunities come in the company, they look at go-to people. Oh, this person knows this. Let's promote him. Let's promote her. That's how it goes. So you have a very bright future in front of you, all of you. I'm just telling you, you are in an era, you are in an age where technology has given you so much on a platter where you can learn, expand yourself, and be successful in life. And while doing so, keep those values, Vedanta values that we talked about, put that part of day-to-day living. Those values are critical for you, because that will make you successful as you go through. And I was going through some of the beautiful questions you made, and I tell you, the very fact that you could research a person and think of those questions, this generation is doing very well. They are doing very well. Our generation at that time, we did not have any platform to research. Where could we know about anybody? There was no Google, there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram, there was nothing. We could not. You people have everything. You can learn about any person, anywhere, anytime. And everybody these days is exposed. Nobody can say that nobody knows about me. Put the person's name, everything will come. You are all naked in front of technology. So very best for you. You people, I think, will succeed very well. You are the future of the globe. I won't say nation. You are future of the globe. Because many of you will go abroad and you will do, and then come back here and implement things and ideas. You will do very well. So You have the opportunities in front of you, incredible, that we did not have. And God bless you. I think we wish you very well. So,
What do you think is a better job opportunity? Could you share this?
okay, you asked me the question of that. What is my favorite subject, right? And when I was growing up, uh, frankly, it was poetry, English poetry. It came from my father. My father was the principal of the school. He taught English to us. He was very high on English poetry. I still remember some of the poetries that he used to love was William Wordsworth, with everything about nature. Okay, and, I remember one poem, Daffodils, was there. Then H.W. Longfellow. There was another great poet at that time. I still remember a few lines of that poem. Um, Trust no, which is very pertinent for you today. Trust no future, howsoever pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act, act in the living present, heart within and God overhead. Which means do not trust the future, but don't worry about past. Only time you have is today, current, and work hard on that part. And future will be made with that. If you keep on brooding over the past, you will lose everything because you cannot work in today. So that's no future. There was another poet, Robert Frost, who wrote beautiful poem. Woods are dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. And that is actually applies to everybody, especially our generation. That I still have miles to go. Even though we have gone many miles, I'm 73 years old. I'm today 73 years old. Okay, I still have a long way to go. That's the thinking. Woods are dark and deep, but I have promises to keep to my young grandchildren, and miles to go before I sleep. Still to give back lot, whatever I learned or whatever I contributed, I still have to give lot to the society. So I think poetry was one of the most favorite subject. Even today, whenever I get a chance, look at the poetry books and go through those poems. They are beautiful, very nice. Which other question you had? Number, tell me just number. Number 14. When you have a very busy day, what is one thing that helps you to feel happy and keep going? On any given day, when I look back, I think it's always happiness comes then you are spending time with nears and dears. Relationship is so critical part of it. When you spend time with those people, it gives you real happiness. Because your day-to-day official work will always continue. But those relationships you have on day-to-day basis, they are a critical part of the equation. It may be your time spending with your grandchildren, with your spouse, with whosoever it is, but that actually becomes the core of the things. And that's why we say, always keep your friendships intact. You, at this age, you make some friendships today, and then you will grow, get married and all that. Some of those friendships, keep them alive. Now, when we met for this 50-year reunion this week of those people who did MBA, when we met those people after 50 years, I have not seen many of them in 50 years. They were young people and now they are just old. But within like first 15 minutes, we could feel the same spark was there. The same camaraderie was there. The same interactions were there. We never felt, did we miss each other for 50 years? It's the same group. We were just giggling around in the college campus and all. And here we are after 50 years with the burden of so much responsibilities we have gone through. But again, we are students. So we spent 6 days together. Just came out of it yesterday night. Spent 6 days together. They were the best 6 days I could think of in the last many years with those people. 50 years. So that's why I say keep those friendships intact. And what makes you happy on a day-to-day basis? Those relationships. Make it a point. Every day, make one phone call to a lost friend who you have not talked for ages. When you grow up, make that point. Today, I need to do something good. I need to talk to somebody I've not talked for ages. 10 years back, 20 years back. Pick up the phone. You'll be surprised that spark will still be there. So, yeah. What number?
I don't know the question number. I have a question I ask you. If you had the ability to choose any superpower to help improve the way your school runs, what power would it be? Choose and why?
Teaching. The biggest superpower you can see is your influence on the people. You can give them, impart something. Teaching is a great superpower. That means you are able to pass on the skills, the learnings you have to next generation or to the students who can carry it further. That kind of superpower not everybody has. That you are able to pass on the learnings to the next generation, it's a great superpower. I would love to have that superpower, to be able to pass it on to whomsoever I can. The biggest lesson of leadership comes your influence on the large number of people. When we say prime minister of a country, the influence is on the whole country. But you can have a smaller group of people you can be influenced on your own family. It starts from there. Influence on your own family. Go bigger. Influence in your locality. Go even bigger. Influence in the city. So larger the influence you can have, that is your superpower. That you are increasing your superpower of passing on the sort of learning to the next level of people whosoever they are. Yeah, that'll be there.
If you had to explain a 5-year-old child that why school is important, then
Why-
why
why-
school is important? If you had to explain a
That why
child,
school is important?
yes,
Uh-huh.
then how would you explain to a 5-year-old child?
Yeah. So it all starts with that a child does not grow single. It grows in a village. We call it a village teaches you. There is a saying that a village teaches you. Similarly, a child learns a lot by interaction with the same age group. We learn a school, which is their children there, and we see the personality growth of those children um, much more than they were growing at home, just being brought at home. So if I have to tell a child, a 5-year-old child, I just say interact with other age group people. You will learn much more. You will get new skills. You will build relationships, and that's why for those children we do sessions. We call it a idea exchange sessions. They sit down, read books, look at each other, and they try to say, oh, she did this way, let me try to do this way. So interchange of ideas happen. Personality development happens at that age. So the learning for a child is always try to interact with others to improve your personality, enhance your personality.
Do you remember when you were 5 how you felt?
So very good question. I'm now going back 68 years back. I'm 73 today. So I'm looking at 5-year-old. I was in a village. I remember it was Hoshiarpur district. I was in a village, grade 1 at that time. I remember some of the students in that class. One was Lalit, one was Bhavanath. Those two friends. I can see that 5-year-old what we were doing at that time. It was entirely different interaction at that time, because we used to play. Rain comes, will play in the rain. Run without any clothes. Serious, without any clothes, because the rain comes and you feel so happy. You don't worry about your appearance. You just want to enjoy nature. We were running around there in the school compound without clothes, 5-year-old. So some of those memories are still etched in your mind, in your subconscious, which are there. And sometimes when you look back, and they give you such a pleasure. I was able to do that. Today I cannot. So I think as a 5-year-old, there are many memories which are still there. But the best memory I can think of is taking a bath in the rain. That was one of the best memories which is still there in the mind.
Sir,
What is the most important thing you want the little children at the Goddess school to learn before they go to any elementary school?
I think one of the things the children at that age should be learning is the um, friendship. They need to learn that this is a very common element that you need to inculcate from the young age, that it's not a single-handedly you grow in life. You go on the shoulders of others to make things happen. That's why friendships is more important. Number two, their desire to learn more and more new things. I think they need to be inquisitive. uh, what next? What next? How? We see that happening now more with our children in North America, that Indian children in North America, they have started questioning everything. For example, here we were used to, if our parents are going to temple, if they are doing bow, if they are doing, we'll just follow them. We will not question. There, if we do that, they will question, why are you bowing? Why are you praying in front of this idol? Why are you doing this? So that inquisitiveness should be there in us all the time. That question of why and why should always be there. There has to be a logic to the thing we do. The blindness in religion, that is also not good. It should be with a question. What is the relevance of that? For example, we do namaste. Okay. It's very simple way of greeting somebody. But when you go deeper into it, why do we namaste? Namaste is nothing but we consider everybody a part of God, and you are basically bowing to the inner self of that person, which is we call antaratman. We are bowing to that antaratman, not to a person. Physical form we are not bowing. We are bowing to that antaratman and saying, I bow my head to you, because you are like a form of God. So that's what namaste is all about. When we say namaste to somebody, it's not the physical form of that person. It is basically bowing to that in antaratman of that person. Touching feet. Why do we touch feet of elders? Feet is nothing but the five elements, right? Our body is made of five elements. So touching feet means nothing. But we are touching feet of the person for the learning that person has acquired over years. We are bowing our head to those learnings and praying that some of those good learnings come to us. That's why we are touching feet. So I think the question of inquisitiveness should always be there. Why, and why? And it's lifelong learning. It is there. So, last two questions.
Sometimes being a boss means making hard choice. How do you decide what's the best choice for school and children?
What the best choice for school and children in terms of
The future of the citizens in life for the school, children, their future.
yes, if I understand the question very well, I think the best choice for children is the just to, first of all, learning is one part of it. I think you are learning things and all that, creating relationships and all that. That's one part of it, but also the power of thinking. You don't want people to be forced to do something. You want to make them learn to think, and that is a very important part of any learning, that you just start thinking and you start questioning things, you start brooding over it, how why these things are happening. And I think more you become sort of tuned to that way of thinking, your mind will start broaden, your mind will start, intellect will start broaden, and you will be actually getting more and more insight into things. So the power of thinking is the most critical part of the equation. Okay, how do we summarize now?
This has been such an incredible conversation talking to you, and we have learned so much about the career guidance. So today we have been talking with Viney Kaushal Sir, the president of Little Einstein Learning Incorporation and a leader who proved that the only strategy in life is to follow your purpose. Thank you so much, sir, for your time today, and thanks to our listeners for tuning in. Goodbye for now.
Thank you. Thank you.